All right, next up, how about some Photoshop preferences? Let me show you a couple of quick things here. Once again, back to my edit menu, all the way down to the bottom here, edit preferences. I'm looking for general, or I could have saved myself one heck of a trip and just hit Control K or Command K on the Mac. That gets me into Photoshop's preferences. The preferences here in Photoshop CS4 have been rearranged a little bit more streamlined, but there's a couple of things I want to show you here to help you out inside Photoshop. First of all, export clipboard. This is underneath the general preferences. You can see I have this category list going down the left-hand side here. First one I want to show you here, export clipboard. There he is right there. Now, what this guy will do is allow you to copy and paste Photoshop content into other applications. So, if he's turned on, no problems, but you may find that Photoshop's performance slows down a little bit with this guy turned on. So, you may want to turn this guy off just by removing that checkbox there. I'll leave that up to you. Now, something you saw earlier, using the Shift key to cycle through the different tools inside the toolbox. Remember that? Well, you can turn that off if you like. So if I turn this guy off, I could just repeatedly hit the L key on my keyboard, for example, or the M key, remember, for my marquee tools, and that would automatically cycle through those tools, saving me the trouble of holding down the Shift key. Okay, here's another one for you. I'm going to go down to cursors. Here's something else you might want to do. Inside the painting cursors, we're going to talk about using our painting tools, the paintbrush, working with color, and so on. Now, you can stick with normal brush tip. I get a little preview of them up here. But if I have a feathered brush, that is a soft-edged brush, maybe I want to see how soft that brush is going to be. So I can go full-size brush tip as opposed to normal brush tip. So with the full size, I'm going to get that feathering in there as well. That's up to you. Normally, I don't turn it on, but it's up to you. But the one that I would suggest you turn on is show crosshair in brush tip. And you can see I can tell right where the dead center of my brush tip is going to be inside my paintbrush, for example. So make sure that show crosshair in brush tip is turned on. One other thing we'll do, I'm going to go to units and rulers, and I'm going to set my ruler units here. Instead of inches, I'm going to use pixels. Of course, you can use whatever unit of measurement you're most comfortable with. I'm going to go with pixels here. Now, something you might be interested in. I'm going to go to performance here just for a second. If you wanted to, you could come into the performance category here and decide how much RAM, how much memory you want to allocate to Photoshop. Normally, I leave the defaults, but if you're working on some heavy images, some large images, you may want to devote more of your system resources to Photoshop in that case. And in this little area here, down towards the bottom, something called scratch disks. If you had multiple hard drives, you could actually set them up as scratch disks, so Photoshop could use those as additional memory as well. Anyway, you might be interested in that, you may not be, I have no idea. But with these preferences set up, I'm going to click on OK, and we are ready to move on.